All right, peace. It's your homeboy Lover J. What had happened was I met this guy once and met him through the radio first on Power 106. I think I'd heard the Alkaholiks. And this is 1/3 of the world famous party rockers, E Swift, Tash. And here we have entrepreneur, dope MC, crazy sports fanatic fan, and PACOIMA, California native, LA representative, J-Ro of the Alkaholiks. J-Ro, thank you for being with me today.
What up? What up? How y'all doing out there? All good. What's up, Lover J, man? Been a while. Been a while since we hollered, man.
Yeah, man. It's good to be with you, and I love following you and seeing what you're doing. You're always doing something interesting, a man about town. Always got beautiful people around you and dope operations happening. Whatever you're doing, something's active with you. So we want to catch up with you and find a bit about your beginnings, find about, catch up with what's been happening and see where you're going next, because I know you have a lot of interesting entrepreneurial operations happening and exciting ventures that we want to know about. So why don't you just let us know how things going for you right now generally?
Well, things going good, man. You know, just taking it one step at a time, just like everybody else. You know, of course, through this pandemic and everything, you know, so just keeping things moving with different products, different ventures. You know, I didn't want to really let things slow me down. Some obstacles happen, but just keeping it going, man. Getting more back into the music more than I have been in these past years. And moved back from Sweden back to California. Now I'm in Arizona. So, I've just been doing some moving around, some soul searching, some, just trying to find the best things. You know, the giraffe is my logo of my antics company, because the giraffes see everything before all the other animals, you know. So I like to find things first, you know, put it out there.
Well, you've been finding a lot. I know you've been moving and shaking as an entrepreneur and dipping and dabbling in different business ventures for a while. So I can't wait to get into some of that conversation.
For sure.
You have some products people want and need, and aficionados are gonna like, certain products you have available. So
for sure.
This is gonna be fun and interesting. I wanted to start off. First, I'm glad you're doing good. In the midst of COVID, and we lost a lot of people. And
absolutely, man. Rest in peace to all the people that we lost during this. You know.
Yeah.
One other thing I gotta say, just health-wise, really taking care of my health, my body, my soul, my mind. But I just really want to let people know, just stay healthy, and eat right, exercise, and pray.
Well, thank you. How do you do that? You looking good, like you was like 21 right now. What's going on? What's your regimen?
Hey, well, a few years back, I probably lost about 60 pounds.
60 pounds.
Yeah, I had got pretty big up there, man, just living that lifestyle, until one day I just decided to, take a stand for myself and really, do things right. So I don't really have a certain regimen or anything, but it started off with just I stopped eating processed foods, stopped drinking soda, cut sugar totally, completely out of my diet until I got it all out of me. Now I'm a little more relaxed than I used to be, because it doesn't stay in me now. So, I keep like a cheat day on Saturday. I'll have whatever I want, But for the most part, I drink water and coffee. I stopped drinking some years back. Kind of had a glass of wine every now and then, a couple glasses of wine or whatever, but definitely don't drink like I was back in the days. And yeah, I just try to eat what God already provided for us instead of something that's been processed and, you know, made into something interesting, you know.
What? So let me. I love the fact that you're conscientious about your health and stuff. That's important. A lot of us take that for granted. But
Yeah.
how do you reckon with the fact that you made the Alkaholiks and the Licks such a famous moniker, and now yeah, that's almost a non-factor for you.
I just figured after all that, just trying to destroy my body and telling people to destroy theirs, I have a responsibility now to change that, turn it around, you know. And who better to tell it than someone who's been through it, you know. It's just like, you know, being in AA or anything, you hear stories from people who's been through it, and if you haven't really been through it, I don't think people are gonna want to listen. So, you know, coming from me, I think it's important that I just keep that responsibility, you know, on my back, and it helps me personally, but you know, I just love the fact that it inspires some other people to get their health right, to you know, start living a healthy lifestyle. It's not about going on a diet, or it's about changing your lifestyle and changing the way it starts right here, actually. You know, one day I woke up and I was just like, that's it. So it was a mind state that started. I was like, I really want to get to my full potential. You know, I know I'm better than this. It's under here somewhere, you know. So I was like, let me get it to where you know, where it's the best I can be, you know. And that's what I strive to do every day. And at first I was really you know, pushing the fact that I don't go to gyms. I don't go to the gym. That shouldn't be an excuse. Like, I haven't been to the gym. Well, the world is a gym. You can exercise anywhere, do pull-ups on a tree, do push-ups, go outside and run, or do whatever you got to do. You know, lift up something heavy. You don't need to go to the gym. Use your body weight. I was really big on body weight, but for the last about month and a half to 2 months, I actually got a gym membership for the first time in my life, because I wanted to bulk up a little. So, you know, I got down to a certain weight and I got real skinny, but it felt good. I was healthy, but you know, I just wanted to bulk up some now, you know. So I'm in there hitting the weights now.
That's
In the
good.
gym, I had a gym phobia. I had to get over it, but it's good now.
But that's cool that you realized and recognize you have control over your body shape and your you know, how you want to look and feel. That isn't that sometimes. Well, I mean, how did you, were you like periodically in a rut and then one day you just snapped it? It was like, all right, that's it. Or was it just all of a sudden? Were you like, was it day in and day out and you're like, I need to get this under control, and you finally
Yeah, it
did it?
was one day. I was just like, look, this is it. Like, I'm about to change my life. I stopped. First thing I stopped drinking soda.
Okay.
That was the first thing I did. Because I had I have a friend. She was a brain surgeon. I got to tell this story.
Okay.
My friend, Dr. Shamika. I've known her since she was a sophomore in UCLA, and she became a brain surgeon. You know, one time I was in Sweden, and I was talking. She was in California, and I hadn't talked to her in a while, maybe a year or so. And when I talked to her, she said she quit. She quit being a brain surgeon. I'm like, all those years of school, you done traveled to Africa, did all this stuff to get to be a brain surgeon, and you quit. She was like, I couldn't keep prescribing people drugs and things that I knew was harming them. So she started a company that does natural healing for people with brain injuries and different injuries. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I was amazed that she just did that, first of all. But then she said something that just scared me. She said, you got to realize everything you consume, even lotions and shampoos and toothpaste, not to mention what you drink and eat, it goes in your system, goes in your bloodstream, and it goes through your brain. Your bloodstream feeds your brain. Right. And whatever you consume, put on your body, whatever, is eventually going to go through your brain. And for some reason, those words just shocked me. Like, I was like, wow, I never thought of that. The next day, I stopped drinking soda. I was like, I don't want that going through my brain. Then I'm like, eating something. I'm like, I don't want this going through my brain. Like this burger, all this grease going through my brain. And that was the thing that really shocked me into wanting to be a little more clean as far as what I put in my body, what I put on my body. I don't like using chemicals, even to put on myself, you know what I mean? Because I know what it does now, and it's causes a lot of hardships in the world with people that don't even realize it. They like something because it smells good or works or this and that, but they're not realizing why they can't sleep or they have, different problems as far as behavior problems and whatnot. And the more I started thinking about it, the more I really kind of realized it's like a plan. They kind of want this to happen to keep the cycle going. You want to be like this, you're going to go to the doctor, he's going to prescribe you something else, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Thank you. And that had to be a real impactful conversation you had with Doctor, because what she said impacted you. And I've like watched I've had spurts where I was like, I'm not drinking any more milk. I see how they treat the cows,
Right,
I'm not eating these eggs. I see how they eat. But then I end up with a McMuffin or end up with a shake. How did you maintain your discipline to be like, nah, man, I can't go to Fat Burger or nothing. I'm not eating this. I'm not going to Tommy's, Johnny Pastrami's, nothing. How did you just stick to no?
I don't know. I've just kind of always been like that. Like, I don't really think I have an addictive personality. Like, for instance, all my years of drinking, I never drank at home. It was always like in a social setting. I would drink with the best of them, put anybody under the table. But when I would get home from tour or whatever, that was it. I wouldn't drink. It wasn't something like I felt that I needed or whatever. So, but other than that, it was just the conviction, man. I was just like, it's not right. So when something is not right to me, I just stop. I just don't start. It gets to the point where I don't see the point. Like, why am I going to keep eating this if it's destroying me? And that's pretty much what kept me off of it. for a while. Like I stopped eating pasta, stopped eating bread, stopped eating, you know, all this type of stuff that when the word gluten hit the scene real. It was around that time, and I was like, no gluten, nothing like that, you know, that contains that. And I started losing weight very rapidly, and I saw the results of that. But then I also see how we're bombarded with it, like everywhere you look, it's like sugars, you know, in everything we eat, and hidden sugars, like in like I said, in pasta and bread and things like that. So now I can have some pasta every now and then because I got it, like I said, I got it out of my system. So, you know, that was just a thing. I just really didn't see the point of continuing that lifestyle. And like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not something you want to just do for a minute or whatever. It's a lifestyle. You just got to be like, cut it out. And so I just started eating what they call eating clean. I don't consider myself, I don't have a title like vegetarian or this or that, you know. I just stopped eating bad food.
Yeah. Well, I think that says a lot about you, that you know, can make decisions and stick to them. You know, a lot of people don't even know that exists, that people have that kind of discipline and sense of purpose.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially us Americans, we kind of feel like it's our right. It's like our right. Like, oh, you gotta eat this. What, you crazy? Just you haven't had this, or you know, and it's kind of like something you're supposed to do.
Right.
And we got to get out of that mind state and just be like, you know, it's already food on the earth. It's already food out there. There's water, there's food, there's, you know, we don't need all of this stuff. And it's not our right to just go to have to eat this stuff or feel bad for not eating it, you know. Especially like, you know, mama's cooking, grandma's cooking, you gotta refuse that. Oh man, the traditions kill us.
They're gonna talk bad about you at the house, man, if you turn
Yeah,
down
man.
grandma's plate. What
Yeah,
they
the
say? What they gonna
traditions
say
will
to you?
kill us. Thanksgiving and 4th of July and all this stuff, like, woo. I mean, it's crazy, you know, and these are some of the things that's just been ingrained in our society, to where you walk around and you see so many people out of shape. And I think a lot of it, living overseas, living in Sweden for 15 years really helped me, because, you know, a lot of those foods and things that we eat here in the US, they don't even allow it over there, you know. And you know, it's just a different way of life, you know, that people are living over there. And you see people are more in shape, they're thin, you don't really see any obese people. I think in the last few years it's kind of gotten pretty bad over there. You think when I first moved to Sweden, I would you know, we eat late night over here. In the city I was living in, Malmo, it was closed. And I'm like,
It was about what?
ain't nothing open. Nothing.
Nothing was open? Hold on, you freezing up a little bit. So I'm missing what you're saying. Okay, we'll just wait a moment while J Rose signal is cleared up. But we're talking. Okay, how you doing?
I think, okay, we on this Wi-Fi.
Okay, I hear you though.
My back.
We're here now.
Yeah,
okay.
The city I was living in, Malmo, Sweden, the city when I first moved there, it was like 9 o'clock at night and everything was closed. Every restaurant, food spot, everything. I was starving. Like, what? I can't get nothing to eat right now? What? And I went to bed hungry. And so I got kind of used to that. Like, okay, I can't go eat late night, and I will see, I'll start seeing everybody looking more in shape out there and a lot more healthy because they don't have this late night eating culture that we have over here. Everything's open 24 hours. You can get anything. They still deliver. Supermarkets, whatever is open. Over there, they shut down. 9 o'clock, nothing. So I had to get used to that. In smaller portions. Like a large soda or drink over there is like a medium here size and big gulp. So yeah.
Okay, hold
this
on.
guy used to.
Go ahead. You chopping up just a little bit, but I think we're still together on this. So hold on. Let's see. Okay, so J-Ro's signal's clearing up, and while it is, he's talking about his experience in Malmo, Sweden. Okay. There you are. There you are. Can you hear me? Okay, we'll wait for him to come back, but he's just giving us some insight on his living in Malmo, Sweden. There you are. Can you hear me?
Right.
Okay. There you are. You're back. So you were mentioning how how our mediums were there large in a drink and stuff like that. Is that right? In Sweden? I got you. There you are.
Okay, it should kick back in. I guess it waves in and out.
Okay, we're still here. They can't stop the prophet.
But that was my experience in Sweden, man. No food after
I think
9 o'clock.
I think J-Ro may have the FDA surveying us right now and trying to cut out his message of health and good eating.
Yeah, this country would collapse if everybody, lived the same way.
Well, just relating to the importance of travel and living or being abroad just to see how other people are living. Like we could really take a trip right up north to our family in Canada and see how Canadians live, and they have a similar healthy lifestyle. They share a lot of common things with us, like their restaurants are open late. But I just noticed the social difference and the health difference up there. It's being in Vancouver, British Columbia. That's what you're describing is similar there. It's the way people eat and maintain themselves different. I can tell the difference. Yeah.
Right. And like I said, it all starts from here. So if people have the knowledge from the beginning, they're not going to put certain things in their body anyway.
Well, let me ask you, how does grandma and mama feel when you turn down, some chitlins or gumbo, whatever they got cooking over there, and you ain't gonna eat it? Is the family looking at you funny, like, oh, that J-Ro think he's better than that?
I mean, it's hard at first, but you just have to educate them.
Okay.
It starts with that. Like tell them why you're not doing it, and it gets hard at first, but then you just become that guy. Like, oh, he ain't gonna eat this.
Right.
Oh, don't even get at it to J-Ro. He not gonna eat it.
Right.
So then I just became that guy, like, okay, do we have anything that you can eat? Maybe you want some lettuce or something? Like so yeah, I just became that guy, and some people followed, some people didn't, some people did. for sure. But it's hard at the beginning, but you gotta just keep it, be strong. Be strong. That's all.
And what was doctor's name? Was it Shamiko or how'd you say her name?
Dr. Shamika, it's
Shamika.
KSHAMICA.
Okay, Dr. Shamika.
She's on Instagram too. She has a really dope page that gives a lot of knowledge every day about health and wellness.
Want to shout her out and thank her for making an impact, man. That really obviously changed your life. Talking with her and seeing what she did, changed her career and her life. So that's really
absolutely dope. For sure, for sure. She did a beautiful thing.
You touched on Sweden, and I want to get to Sweden because that was a pivotal time in your life too, and you were an ambassador for the United States or for hip hop in Sweden while you were there. So before we get to that, I want to talk about a place we have in common, our beloved hamlet and hood of PACOIMA in San Fernando Valley, North Los Angeles. And just talk about why is PACOIMA significant anyway. A lot of people, I noticed, people recognize and know PACOIMA, but a lot of people are like, well, where is that? What is PACOIMA?
Right. I mean, I grew up on the east side of PACOIMA, man. Represent to everybody out there in Hanson Hills to the Lakeview Terrace. I was born in PACOIMA Lutheran Hospital, and it's just a small part of Los Angeles, right outside of the city, in the San Fernando Valley, 818, and it's a lot of history in this place. I call it kind of the lost city, because a lot of people don't know about it, even people in LA. And I know you coming from there, you understand what I mean. Getting for gang violence and drugs and the drugs and 90s and stuff like that. But has a lot of history, La Bamba,
Richie Valens. I see J-Ro's getting real deep with it right now. Now we're freezing up, so we'll take a moment and let technology catch up with us. Okay, there you go. You back.
Yo. So it's mostly Black and brown people, and you got to learn how to deal with growing up in a place like that. Once you leave, it just you got a certain mind state. So for me, it was just like I didn't feel like I was going to be there forever. And once I started venturing out, I just, kept my same mind state from there, and, was always open to learning things, seeing things that wasn't where I was from. Like, wow, we don't have this in PACOIMA. We don't do this in PACOIMA. Why? Why not? Once I started asking that question, I kind of got hooked. I want to know it all now, like, from other things from other places, and just that's what kind of got me into like dealing with different products and different things, seeing technology, going overseas, seeing technology that they didn't have here in the US at all. And then it would come here later.
Right.
So I got up on that game real tough, very, very early when I moved out there.
How did you avoid, PACOIMA's it could be a black hole in terms of just a hole. You don't need to be a color. It could be a difficult place to get out of for a lot of people. I'm sure you know as well, and I know I do. How did you sidestep the temptations of hustling? That was major there. I mean, there's legendary people who come through there hustling, and the gangs, from PACOIMA Flats and the Pyrus and the OVGs, and like And all these people really know each other, really. That's the funny part, is people are very familiar in that
Right.
area.
All families.
Right. And how did you dodge
Yeah.
that? You know, how did you slide through without being caught up?
I mean, I would say I'm lucky, I'm blessed, because I dibbed and dabbed a little in all of that growing up there. Just something that's so it's so what I want available for you, and I was just blessed to be able to walk the line, another line, and especially learn, being starting to get into hip hop, kind of kept me, swayed me away from all that. And then certain people in my life saw that and they made sure that I stayed over there. And I avoided some things, and they would tell me to go to the studio and get out of here, basically. And so that helped me a lot, Then I met a man named Scotty D. He owned a place called the Fila Shop, on Van Nuys and Glen Oaks in PACOIMA. And they made sweatsuits, like custom made sweatsuits with Fila on them and Gucci and all this stuff, right? And all the ballers used to go in there. And I went in there one day and I rapped for him. And he told me DJ Pooh was coming down to the shop the next weekend. Okay. He said, come back on Saturday. My boy DJ Pooh from Uncle Jam's Army bringing his turntables. So I came back down, and man, it just pretty much started that day, to where I was like, I don't want to gangbang. I don't want to be part of this life. And I just totally left that alone and was like, this is what I want to do. And that's where it started. I mean, he was from Compton. He came and opened a shop over in PACOIMA and got nothing but love. And I saw that, and I was like, this is the vibe I want to bring to the table. And so since then, it was just like all hip hop. I'm a hip hop fanatic. I'm a hip hop, member, and that was it. And that's what people started knowing me as. So it made me stand out. I like the feeling like, okay, I stand out. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not doing the same thing as everybody else. Right. Of course, when some situations started presenting themselves, I fell back a little, came back to it like, okay, I need some quick money. Boom, 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 boom. Got in a little trouble. In my early 20s, and I was blessed to beat the case. And so after that, I just made a promise to myself, just, hey, that was my chance. I got another chance at this, and I just kept it music from then on, pretty much.
Man, it's nice to get those blessings, those opportunities and warnings before the consequence kicks in too dang hard. Some people don't get a warning; they just get it. They're just gone.
It comes like that, yeah. You mean death, jail, whatever,
Yeah.
I was able to just, get a lesson real quick and like, okay, this is what could have happened. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for that, for real. I'm very grateful for that, that time in my life. It was very stressful at the time, but it was just like, it could have ended up way worse. So, I'm very grateful for that, looking back on it. And, it just led me to just strive harder at what I was doing.
Was there a pivotal conversation or like some impact anybody had on you to really? I just remember I would go home to PACOIMA, and there'd be kids, guys with my age or a little older, and I would go visit, like on Vaughn Street or something, or Glen Oaks and Vaughn, and they would be like, "What's up?" They show love, but they'd be like, "But you can't hang out here," because
Right, right.
they know what I'm doing. They're like, "You ain't allowed to be out here too long. You can't hang." Was there people who steered you away, or were like, gave you like let you know you had something more to do, or any
Yeah,
impact
yeah,
like that?
absolutely. So, I mean, most people by then they just knew me as a rapper, J. Roll. J. Roll, you bust a rap, man. Like, you ain't ready for this life over here. Like, we out here doing this for real.
Right.
So that was pretty much the conversation with almost everybody.
Okay.
So it was basically, I would say the judge gave me the best words, gave me that chance, was like, okay, I'm gonna let you, if I see you back in here again, I'm throwing the book at you. It was basically that kind of conversation where she was like, I think you're a good kid and you have a lot of potential. So I'm gonna give you this chance.
Woo.
And that was a big one. Once again, Scotty D, he would take me out to Compton and Long Beach. And this is like 87, 88, 86. Was going down out there. And when that really was a lesson also, because when I saw that lifestyle, I didn't want no parts of it. When he took me to Compton the first time, he left me in the car. He's like, I'll be right
Where
back.
were you at? Were you at the projects or school, or where were you? Where were you sitting?
It was in the neighborhood, man. I don't remember exactly what neighborhood it was, but he just left me in the car. He ran in the house, and I looked around and I saw what was going on. It was like wild. It was wild, wild, wild west.
Wow.
Something I had never seen before. And at that moment, I remember I said, I don't want no parts of this.
Mm.
No parts of this at all. I don't want to be out here like this, because I see where it ain't cool. And that's the day I really decided to be an MC. Was full time.
You met the brilliant and talented legend DJ Pooh in PACOIMA. What was it like when you met him? How was that first interaction?
Oh, it was dope. He was one of the youngest members of Uncle Jam's Army, so that was legendary to me. I used to hear them on K-Day doing concerts live and doing all that. So, he's coming from Compton, South Central. We would be going out there, coming back to the Valley. I was the one with the car, so I would go pick him up, bring him to the Valley, had to take him home late at night. So I was in it, man, like really seeing these streets. And it was just living in the streets a little, but not, doing nothing.
Okay. Take a moment, a little technical hold up for a moment.
But just we got lost again.
We're back. Lost
Okay.
and found.
Yeah, so that was it, man. That was the beginnings of the music, the hip hop part of my life.
Well, I know I appreciate you sharing that, and we all love DJ Pooh and everything he's done and keeps doing, and
Yeah, man.
I wish he would do something to continue Three Strikes. Or that's a slept-on movie to me. I always enjoyed Three
Yeah,
Strikes.
I gotta put it out there, man. He wrote Friday. He wrote that movie. I remember when he used to talk about it, like he wanted to make a movie about the hood and about him and his homie. That's him and his homie on the stoop. But
Okay.
he's so humble. He played another role of Red. Oh, that was him and his homie. Just stories that he had he lived through. So big up to DJ Pooh, man, legend in the game, always doing something going forward that people don't even know. He did all the St. Ives commercials.
Yeah.
From then, you know, he was on his entrepreneur game, you know, way before me, you know.
Well, it takes a special director and writer to know how to cast yourself. And I think he couldn't have been casted better than he was with Red. He
Right.
acted his butt off with Red. Just
For sure.
unforgettable scenes, obviously. I'm a tough
For
money.
sure.
I'm a tough
Yeah, you already know, man. He one of the funniest people I know, man, for real.
Nope. Oh, what's his name? Who's his dad in there? I forget the actor's name.
Ray, what's his name? Ray, Red. I think his name was Red.
Hilarious. Well, again, yeah, all respects to DJ Pooh, and we can't even get into you and the Alkaholiks without going into the story of King T. Now, I read Miss Jackson's book. I think Crystal Jackson. She has the PACOIMA Stories book. Did you see that yet?
Yes.
Okay, because I know you're featured in there.
Yeah.
Like Andre
Big up to Crystal for doing that, for sure.
Yeah. But King T is in there. And is King T from PACOIMA, or what's the story? Because I know he represents Compton too. But what's the story behind that?
Well, yeah, he's originally his mom, my mom and his mom went to elementary school in PACOIMA together.
Okay.
But he was like, as a kid, he moved around a lot, from like Houston to LA to a lot of places, you know.
Okay.
So you know, Compton put him on 100%. You know, Scotty D and Mixmaster Spade, rest in peace, and you know, people like that really took him under their wing, and you know, he represent Compton to the fullest. But you know, he'll let you. He knows where the roots are from, and I don't want to give it up too much because Scotty D has a documentary coming out, and he really talks about it. He touches on it for the first time, you know. So you could check him out.
Can you talk about what the documentary is about generally?
Yeah, it's called How the West Was Won, but it basically tells Scotty D's story coming from like 1978 with the you know, it just goes way back, man. It's called How the West Was Won. I don't want to give away, you know, the storyline or nothing like that, but it's basically Scotty D's story coming from the Soundmaster crew, DJ crew, popping and locking before all of us was doing it, you know. So it's a whole history, and he goes all the way up until like the 90s.
Now, how would you describe Scotty D as a player in the game? Like, was he like a promoter, a manager, a DJ?
All that.
He was everything. Okay.
He did all that, you know. Like I said, he was doing it way before we even thought of doing it. And you know, later on, he was doing a lot of street promotion with like Death Row, different labels like that. He really had his hand in the game. He took us on our first tour, like me and King T, before we was even like, you know, we were still teenagers. Took us out on the road doing shows with Ice-T and Whistle and Dana Dane and people like this, man. Like before, you know, we even knew what it was. So Scotty D is a legend, man. People know Scotty D, you know they real.
Okay. Official. You know, I was thinking while we were talking, we talked about PACOIMA, and PACOIMA was one of the designated areas for Black people to live in the 40s and 50s when that town became established in the East Valley of San Fernando. Yeah. And obviously the demographics have changed now. I think it's maybe almost 80 to 90% Mexican now, or Latino and Mexican. How do you feel like when I grew up there in my early life, I never saw this, but I was a child. How do you feel about the tensions between black and brown that are happening in places like PACOIMA and other pockets, around LA. I'll just ask that because that doesn't even fit in my vocabulary or my mind. I didn't grow up like that. So I'm just
Right.
wondering, how does that feel to see that dynamic happening in certain places where maybe it didn't? I don't know what it was like for you growing up or what you saw.
Yeah, growing up, we didn't really have that. We all got along. Around like the early '90s, I guess things kind of changed. And I mean, it's horrible. You know what I mean? We all live in the same place. We all got to deal with the same issues, but some things just got out of hand out there. And of course, it's a lot of us that don't, we're not feeling that, especially us older cats. But all I gotta say is, man, I just pray for them, man. That's it. It's really something that's taking its own form, But I didn't really have no parts of it. I done my parts to help, do some scraper bike events where at PACOIMA City Hall, try to catch the kids early, come hang out together, did a lot of coaching sports, football, baseball, Pop Warner, Little League, stuff like that. Try to, pretty much do what I can, but it's just taking its own lifestyle, and it is what it is now, but it's, I always feel things can get better, that's just how I feel. And it's just something that shouldn't be happening. That's all I can really say about it.
Well,
Big up to everybody in PACOIMA. I don't care what color you are. You from PACOIMA, that's it.
That's right. Let me shift gears a bit. And I know you're a sportologist like myself. I know you love sports. You say it and you claim it. Are you still a big sports guy, or has anything
Well, I
changed?
gotta just really say something about that. Some years back, like how I just kind of got, more healthy with food and living and all that. I wouldn't say stop watching sports and all that, but for a little while I did. I mean, for a whole year, I didn't watch no sports at all.
Which year?
This was probably around 2015 or something like that.
Okay.
And because just started getting a little older and seeing, like I said, started seeing things from other places and whatnot. And then I just really didn't see the point again of being a fan, a fanatic, and really just the time. We got a short time on this earth. And the time that it just, just to sit down and watch a whole game and every day basketball games and football on Sundays. So I would I remember one year I didn't watch the Super Bowl, and I went out and I hustled. I would not illegally, but like you said, these Wi-Fi streaming boxes, Netmaster. It wasn't even Netmaster then. It was like Jetstream or something back then. I said, I'm gonna go to a couple people's house, and I'm gonna get on this phone, and I ain't even gonna watch the Super Bowl. People looking at me like I'm crazy. What? You ain't gonna watch the Super Bowl phone? You crazy? Like what? Nah, I ain't watching that. I'm gonna try to get this money today, And I made a lot of money that day. So after this, I was like, I ain't watching sports no more. I don't even care. They ain't paying me, to watch, to sit and do nothing for 2 hours, So I kind of got used to it, man. So I kind of keep up. I hear about stuff right now, but I've been kind of out the game for a while. I don't really sit down and watch whole games. I'll catch some highlights or something, something like that. But it's even led to really, I don't even really watch TV anymore. So I'm not really up on a lot of stuff, kind of late on it. But you well know I support athletics. Don't get me wrong, I support it. I think it's a beautiful thing that people can change their lives. They can, be healthy while they're doing these sports. Keeps young youth out of the streets. All of that, I totally support it.
Well, that and athletics and sports are two different things. I know people try to
I
interchange them,
support
but
everybody who's. I would love. I'm actually going to a arena football game tomorrow.
oh,
So I do here in Arizona. So I do support the spirit of athletics. Absolutely.
who's playing in Arizona now? Is it still the Rattlers out there? Or what team is in Arizona?
I don't know. My partner is gonna take me after this gun show. We're
Okay.
gonna go over there check it out. So
Okay, don't let
sure.
don't let the bullet out the bag. We're gonna get to the gun show because I know that's what you're doing out there. And
Yeah. I got a split pretty soon though, so we might need to get up into that.
Okay, well we'll get into that. Let's shift into that. I was asking about sports because hearing you, in your conscientious shift in life, I kind of stopped watching football when I saw what happened with Colin Kaepernick. Like I stopped at least the NFL. That bothered me because he's definitely worthy of a second string position on any team in the NFL, at least, if not for a starter with some of these other teams. And I just,
Right.
it kind of was a awakening that it's not a meritocracy. Like it's not the quality of you as a athlete that's going to get you a roster spot necessarily. It's like other factors,
Right.
upset me, the reality of that. But that kind of
I think it's just the atmosphere, that just certain entities in this country have created. It's like that in all walks of life. So when it reached the NFL on a big stage, I think a lot of people really took more notice of it. But it's something that's been happening since day one, and it's an unfortunate thing, but it brought a lot of light to what was really going on in this country.
People trip on that, but I think it really should give people a clarity on the fact that all the sports leagues, even in college, these are businesses. And I can remember I went to 2 business schools for graduate school, and each of them, the first thing that I was taught was businesses in motion to create profit for the shareholders. That's the first mission of any business. Above and beyond any morals, ethics, that was not even mentioned in the first sentence. It's how to increase profit margin for owners, shareholders. You know, and I think that's important for people to realize that's business.
Right.
And it can be conscientious business, but it seems to not be a requirement. And so, since we're talking, business, I think this is a perfect segue because you're being industrious and engaging in business, not just music business. Of course, you have a legendary career with the Alkaholiks, with E Swift and Tash, and I know you have some
for
music
sure.
some music projects you could probably touch on. But I wanted to make sure we fit in some of your entrepreneurial operations and things you've gotten into since you came back from Sweden. And so, one, you're in Arizona, in Williams, Arizona, for one of the gun shows this weekend, and You represent, let me make sure I have it right. Was it Imperator Arms?
Imperator Arms, yeah, absolutely. My partner, Chris Torres, is the owner of that company, and you know, he's brought me in to doing these gun shows every weekend, keeping those rights, you know, our rights going. And I was showing you earlier, this is one of the products that we do, the polymer 80s. This is pretty much what they call the ghost guns. And you basically put the gun together yourself. So let me show you here.
Okay.
I can put it up on here. So here we have a polymer 80 kit that is a Glock 9mm, right?
Right.
So legally, this is not a gun until you put it together. So we can sell these legally. Here in Arizona, it's pretty much cash and carry. You can just come with money, Arizona ID, walk out with any gun, actually. But these can be actually shipped anywhere in the US. So this is what the big talk about, Biden and everybody's talking about banning these, because they don't have serial number on them or nothing. And once you build it, it's up to you to put the serial number on there, you know.
Because it's not a gun. It's not a gun until you build it, right?
Until you build it. So this is the build kit. Everything you need to have a full firearm.
Go ahead.
So yeah, this is one of my latest ventures. You know, since I moved to Arizona and I saw the legalities of you know, firearms and ammunition and everything. You know, it's very lucrative business. So yeah, we have a show coming up. As of, you know, today we have a show coming up this weekend, and pretty much doing them every weekend, every other weekend, different cities around Arizona, and yes, it's pretty interesting.
Now I didn't know you were one of the California Exodus people. How I thought you were just visiting Arizona. What made you decide to eject from California and touch down in Arizona?
I mean, coming back from Sweden, I came back to Cali. I wanted to do some things there, but to me, it just got to the point where it was just like, this ain't right. You know, some things just don't sit right with me. You know, when there's homeless people, I would say homeless encampments everywhere you go now. Everywhere, every underpass, freeway, off ramp, everywhere. The beaches is bad, you know, and the prices are going up. It's really expensive. I mean, here I get gas for like $2.80, you know, stuff like that, you know, and over in LA it's almost $5, you know, a gallon. So a lot of things just don't sit right with me. And you know, when I see it's systematic, it's just really time to go, you know. It's time to go for me. So I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever live in Arizona. But I came out here, and just the more I would come out here, I would just see the beauty of it. You know, it's a beautiful place, first of all. A lot of nature. I know it just gets a rap of being hot.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so once you get past that, you see all the other things, you know. And you know, I don't want to go too much into it because, you know, it's enough people moving here already. Stop.
Look,
so,
now that I'm here, y'all chill out.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful place, and it's peaceful. From my standpoint, some people would say, "Oh, but it's boring." perfect for me. I love it. I love that, you know. So yeah, it's just beautiful, man. That's all I can really say.
Well, and you can do, you know, your operations, your business operations are welcome. I think that's a good state for business, if I recall correctly. One of the places people
Yeah,
do business there.
yeah. A
Um,
lot of businesses are moving here too because of the tax breaks and it's, you know, low tax, no tax, all this. A lot of California businesses are moving here also,
yeah. Now your
including
business
mine.
what's that?
Including mine.
That's what I was gonna say, including yours. Now another item you have, I think is it the net? Not net mark, was it?
Netmaster.
Net Master 7. Now the
Yeah,
seventh edition.
I've been part of the Netmaster family for years. Big up to my man Dino, the owner and creator of it. But yeah, we've been helping people cut their cable off for many years, man. It's a computer system that you hook up to your TV, totally legal. It ain't no black box. It ain't no chip uh, fire, whatever they call them.
Fire stick. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a product that's back warranty. Everything has a staff behind it that does all the updates. But you get every channel, like every channel that exists, every premium channel, every pay-per-view, even all channels from all the other countries. I was saying earlier, you can go to the Mexico channels. Not only that, but you can say what city. I want to watch TV from Guadalajara. You watching that. You can watch TV from India, from Germany, wherever. And it's all streaming, it's all legal. Every movie ever made, every TV show ever made, every episode. You could just go to different strokes and watch any episode when Arnold's goldfish died, Abraham. You can watch that episode, you know. So
I remember that one.
it has video games on it, everything. So, you know, you purchase it, there's never a bill ever. So I've helped people cut their cable for around 10 years now.
Now if I wanted one, what steps would I take to try to get a Net Master 7?
You can contact me. You can go to my Facebook, James J. Rowe Robinson.
Okay.
Best way to do it, because I do it as networking. I don't put ads out. I don't do things like that because my main intention is helping people save money, but also help people make money. So I look for distributors who want to sell it in their area, wherever they're from, any country. It works in any country. All you need is Wi-Fi and a TV. And so I got people from different countries all over the US that's selling them. So I give them a special price on a number of units. And some people do it as a career, man. It's good money. Some people do it as side money, a side hustle. But Netmaster is the best streaming device on the planet by far. And we've proven this over and over. So like you said, we up to the Netmaster 7 at this point. We started with just the N1.
And who told you you could rap and then be a multi-level entrepreneur like this? Ain't you supposed to be one-dimensional? Ain't you supposed to be writing lyrics and that's it? What's up?
Yeah, but like you said, I went out to Sweden, right?
Right.
This back when I was a super basketball fan.
Okay.
So I'm like, I can't watch the games. And one of my friends was like, just stream it. I was like, what stream? What is that? So he showed me this site where I could watch all the games on my laptop. I was like, what? So I'm sitting there watching all the games though. Like, which game do I want to watch? People in the States couldn't even do that on their cable because some was blacked out and all that. I'm over in Sweden watching the game. So that's when I got introduced to streaming way before, because I remember when I came back to the US, I was like, you could just stream it. People was like, what's streaming? What is that? When I first started selling these boxes, people were like, what's streaming? Oh, that's illegal. They're gonna take you to jail if you do that. I'm like, no, that's like Napster and all that. If you don't possess something, it's not theft. Right. You streaming it, you don't possess it. You're just somebody's just sharing it. So you know, I had to get people over that at first, but now everybody knows what streaming is, and even the cable companies are selling you streaming now. You know, they getting over. They streaming stuff and selling it to you like they providing the content when they're not. So, you know, I started learning a lot about what cable companies were doing and how they ripping us off, how they can give you everything, but they make these packages and this, we're going to give you this, and this is not available, but everything is out there, everything. And the Netmaster pretty much proves it. It captures everything that's out there in the air.
Well, I gotta follow up with you on that product because we talked about that about 10 years ago, and I asked the same questions. I was like, "Is this legal?" And you were like, "Yeah," but I didn't know the term streaming. See, again, innovating, you was ahead of the game. And
well, the logo of my company, Antics International Distribution, is the giraffe. I actually got a giraffe on my arm here, you know. Antics, you know, that's my company right there. Because the giraffe sees everything coming before all the other animals, right? So I like to see things first, get my hands on it, present it to people. Sometimes I had to learn not to be too early with things because other people get their hands on it and they boom. Sometimes it's not good to be first. It's good to be second. Yeah. So I think Dr. Pepper came out before Coca-Cola or something like that. It's a good example.
Yeah, that didn't work for them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, you know, once you get your hands on something, you gotta just kind of see if it works and then go from there. So being in Europe, especially Sweden, is like a test market for the United States. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of big corporations know this, but a lot of people don't know this. So I would come back from Sweden to the United States with like cell phones. I remember I had a cell phone that had 16 megapixel camera, while the highest here was still 8. Mm-hmm. And people were like, wow, your picture is so good. Why you got so many megapixels? Yeah, because I'm coming from Sweden. So, you know, I started learning this game, like, okay, so things come out before they're presented to the US market. They're tested somewhere else. And a lot of products in the US don't fail because they've been tested somewhere else already. They know it works. So once it gets here, it just sells.
Well, I appreciate your insight. This is really critical for people who are business thinkers to get some insight and also know it's possible to be a multi-dimensional business person. And knowing that as well, I know you have a schedule starting early in the morning, so I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I did want to cover a few more things and ask you just a couple hip hop questions. But speaking of the giraffe, the Antics logo, you have giraffeshop.com, your distribution company. What's that about?
Yeah, Giraffe Shops with an S at the end.com, giraffeshops.com.
Okay.
This is my company that it's a product distribution, import, export company. Been working with a company out of Orange County for some years. and I put together a website for it where it's for industry. It's for industry. You know, ship loads of stuff. You know, you can go on there, check it out. I actually offer distribution opportunities on there also. So if anybody wants to go on there, check it out. If you feel like there's something you can sell, like you can present to a chain of stores like 7-Elevens, supermarkets, beauty salons, Walmarts, whatever. You set the deal up, you're gonna get paid. You know, we have very unique products on the site. Check it out. It will amaze you. I'm talking about if you go on there, you'll see, for instance, you can start your own lottery. See, most people don't know this. Lottery tickets are independently owned. It's like putting out a record. So you go in the store, you see all these lottery tickets. It's not owned by the government or something. It's like somebody put some money together and started their own ticket. That's there. So I have a way you can have your own lottery ticket. We have other things though, like a lot of health and wellness things. And the biggest item that we have on there is something called the survival tabs. Now the survival tabs are these little tablets that you eat in case of an emergency. Say if all the food goes bad, you can eat a few of these a day and they'll keep you alive up to 6 months. They have 100% of all the nutrients that you need to stay alive. And some people use them for weight management. Like if you eat them while you're having a meal, you'll gain weight. If you skip a meal, you can use them as meal replacements also. And you won't be losing any nutrients. And also a big thing about them, what people get a kick out of, they have 25-year shelf life.
Oh, wow.
So you can store these somewhere and you know they'll be good for the next 25 years. So, you know, I got a stock of them myself. I've been using them lately because I've been working out, you know, so just to, you know, put a few pounds on. But you know, this is the one of the main ones we have. We have soil nutrients. We have systems that can clean the water in a whole like town, whole industry area, things like this, soil remediation systems. But yeah, a lot of stuff that, you know, we not used to talking about in hip hop for sure, you know. So it's other circles that I gotta get involved with to deal with this type of stuff, you know.
Cats, people ain't knowing how brilliant the brain is on some of us hip hoppers, man. I love to hear the story and how you're sharing it, just the transitions, the different moments, the decisions you made. Because that's really what lands us where we're at with this conversation. Is things could have went different. That judge could have had a different mood or attitude that day. It's all kind of just moments that,
Absolutely.
that make us, you know, to help make us. We had something else too. So thank you for Giraffe Shop. So people can go to giraffeshops.com and learn more about products and maybe introducing the product.
Right.
And, I think there was one more thing you also have something you selling just while you're on your person and moving and shaking. What's with this pager? Talk about this pager you got.
Now this is just something I've been doing for fun. It's a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
And got a nice light on it and stuff, but it's USB, Bluetooth, auxiliary here, you know, you can plug it in, but it bumps, man. You know, I'm not playing it right now, but it's hands-free. You can answer your phone with this. I use it in my car for the navigation so it doesn't interrupt my radio.
Yeah.
So on my phone, you know, navigation, I hear it on here. Also has an AM FM radio, but you know, this is from a company called Bumpbox. If you guys are not familiar with Bumpbox, okay. I just got the last ones that they had before they printed on them, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I just got a few of these left, but that's just something I was doing for fun.
Well,
but I want to talk about this optimized earth.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. How much is the bump box go for? If somebody want to pick one up.
Well, they're $99 online. You'll see on the Bumpbox website they're $99.
Okay.
I'll sell them for $80. You know, the only ones left. But I'm telling you, I don't have many left. I was just doing that for fun. I got some off them and.
Well, save me one. I want a vintage model before you get rid of them all.
Got you. Because once these is gone, there's no more without print on them.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, some people buy the numbers off me and they sell them in their stores and whatnot. But I want to get into this optimized earth.
Yeah. Talk about that.
OptimizeEarth.com is already up. We'll have the affiliation system coming very soon, so everybody can make loads of money with this. But what it is, it's a product. Well, here is a bottle of water that has the technology inside of it, and what it does, it protects you from all EMF rays, 5G, 4G. Radio waves, electricity, we're being bombarded with waves. Mm-hmm. And what that does is take your immune system, your brain, it interferes with your brain waves. We're electric. Our bodies are electric. And it interferes, all those waves interferes with our electrical system. And what this does is protect you from all of that. So basically, I'll just keep this bottle on me, and I'm protected from whatever waves is coming around me. And once that system is weakened, you're susceptible to different sicknesses and whatnot. In the way I can prove it, you can go back to like the year 1900 when. Every time there was some new technology introduced, it came with a new sickness because it weakened us more and more. And this started from the stopwatch, from the watch, from radio, television, computers, internet. The list goes on. So. If everybody can do their own research. When these things were introduced, there's a new pandemic, epidemic of something, some kind of new sickness. People say 5G caused coronavirus.
Yeah.
It really didn't cause it, but it made us susceptible of getting it. Okay. When before we didn't have that, we didn't have a problem with it. Now it's weakened us even more to where we can catch that now. Okay. So, the more technology that comes, the more sicknesses that come. So it's not over yet. You can trust me on that. So Optimized Earth, we're being forward on this, and we want people to really take this seriously, because we need to be at our full potential to keep going, and we can protect our families. There's items that come in jewelry, things you can place on your wall, different clothing that you can wear, and it protects you from these waves.
Let me ask you this real quick, J-Ro. Is the Optimized Earth, is it a scientific concoction, or is it something more spiritual, or is it a combination? How would you describe
It's
whatever?
definitely a combination. I don't want to go into how it's done, but it's definitely a combination of that. It's scientific and it's spiritual. I met with the creators of it, and I had to really, I didn't want to get involved with something that was like, from coming from the bad side, So I really had a heart-to-heart conversation with them to let them know that I wouldn't get involved with something that's coming from that side. And from what I saw, they assured me that it's coming from a very spiritual side, and what it is what's already there. It's what we already have. So best way I can put it, if you're out maybe at a monastery or something, temple or something like that, you hear these bells, these chimes, these chants, prayer, all of this, like holy water, for instance, it's been blessed. Mm-hmm. You speak good words into the water. You've seen these experiments. Speak good words into the water, the cells behave a certain way. You speak bad words into it, the cells behave a different way. This has been scientifically proven, and it's it's easy. Like if I say, Luvva J, get out of here, fool, your body reacts to that. If I say, Luvva J, you're welcome to come in and have a seat. You need something to drink, your body actually reacts to that, right? You feel a certain way when I say that, right?
Right.
That's all it is. Energy.
I was thinking, this reminds me of our good doctor from Japan, who rests in peace, but he had water. He did tests with water. I can't remember his name, but is it similar like the energy? Is like an energy repellent or absorber kind of?
Same concept. Okay. So we have all good energy.
Okay.
Giving you the good energy, and it turns the bad energy into good energy.
Okay,
that's a patented system, and it works, man. It works. It's been helping people for a really long time, and they took it out of the U.S. for a long time, but the owners, they bought it back, and they have it now. And Optimized Earth is it's going to be everywhere soon.
So obviously, there's people who are like, that's hocus pocus. If it's not out of a science lab or some pharmacy, I'm not doing it. So this is for people that this requires, an awareness of things beyond science and just Western medicine as well, correct?
Absolutely. If we were here in the same room, I could actually do a demonstration on you right now.
Okay.
I could put this bottle in your hand and say you can stretch and touch your toes. Can you touch your toes?
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking you, can you?
Oh, okay.
Are you flexible? So some people can maybe reach their toes. If I put this bottle in your hand, you're gonna touch the ground with your palms.
Oh.
Like, wow.
Okay.
Because we like I said, we're being slowed down by all these waves,
Yeah.
Interference, yeah. So we're none of us at our full potential.
Now, what would a container of that size? Is there are the prices on the Optimized Earth webpage that people can see?
Absolutely, yeah. You can go on Optimized Earth. You can see all the products that's on there. There's even music. Okay. You can get music, play the music. Boom, you're protected. Yeah. So it's a lot of information on there. Once you go on there, you'll see a lot of information. Yeah.
I got to thank you because we've covered so much information in this interview. There's so much more, but right. I totally respect your busyness and what you do all the time, always moving and shaking and, finding ways to make things happen. And so I know you have a big event this weekend. I wanted to just leave with one, maybe a couple questions. And one is, who are three MCs you think people should study and
Should
why?
study?
Yeah, either study them or their lyrics or their body of work. Like, who are three you think should study? Not necessarily your favorite, but they could be. Not necessarily the best rapper, but they could be to you. But what do you just think?
Wow. I got an interesting list, I would say, probably
Okay.
when it comes to that. That's a good question. But I will have to go first with my favorite rapper. My favorite MC, LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, he did it all. I mean, we might be going back too far, for that. Like, a lot of people wouldn't understand it now. Maybe they would feel it's a little irrelevant. But if you check his history, he never backed down from a fight, battle, and he put a lot of rappers out of their misery. And I love him for that fact, because that's what it's all about, in my opinion, like shutting down other MCs. And that's what he was good at. Second, I will go with Rakim. And I'm saying these names from my era, excuse me, youngsters, whoever's out there watching. Rakim, because he changed the game. He made rapping more poetic when he came in the game. It was a lot of hoo ha and rock and something. It was more like that very energetic style, and he just came like calmed it down, but got very intricate the way he placed his words.
Yeah.
And the third, I would have to go with my OG Ice-T.
Come on.
Because Ice-T gave you the game of life from where he stood. He gave you the game of life, basically, like from every angle, from Colors, talking about gang banging, to I'm Your Pusher, talking about selling drugs, to clean your Adidas with some 409. He even told you how to clean your shoes. But yeah, I mean, New Jack, Hustler, all these
You played yourself.
was all game, and I love him for that. So big up to Ice-T for that, man. I think if a lot of people really study his words, it'll get you a long way in life. For sure. So, there's more, but that's my three.
Well, we're gonna, give you some reprieve right here, and really thank you again, J-Ro, for taking some time out on your one of your business nights here, and wish you well at your gun show tomorrow. And I did want to, maybe we could follow up sometime or in a separate segment to talk about, arms and rights to bear arms and why that's important, and you're in that industry, and so people have, feelings about that. You mentioned a little bit about President Biden maybe having an issue with that weapon that you're selling. So I think that's important to discuss. But want to congratulate you overall on.
Yeah, I just want to, before you finish, definitely, I don't condone no gun violence. Rest in peace to anyone who's been taken down by a firearm, but I'm not in the business for that purpose. I've never in my life want to have to point a gun at another human. A lot of it, people use it for sport, for just going out shooting targets, a lot of things like that. But protection is also something that is very valuable to preservation of life. You know, it's a right. You have a right to protect yourself. You know, and the thing I just want to say, you know, the most gun violence happens in the places with the most gun laws.
Yeah.
Here, you know, like here in Arizona, everybody got a gun. So it's very peaceful, actually. You got a gun, I got a gun. We can talk this out.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't I don't feel like I have an advantage over you or nothing. We're gonna just, hey, how you doing? All right, all right. So you know, it's an argument for the ages, man. But I just want everybody out there to respect each other, respect what you know, you kind of power you have in your hand, and you know, never have to aim it on another human.
That's right.
For sure.
Thank you for adding that too. And I definitely didn't want to insinuate that you were not conscientious and courteous about being smart with firearms and stuff. So I appreciate you just adding, you know, your personal philosophy on that. Because it's important, you know, as a weapons specialist, somebody who's worked with weapons my whole life, it's important to be sophisticated about a weapon and know how to assemble and disassemble a weapon and know it. And it's often the people who are not aware or sophisticated with this thing that they just use it reckless.
Right.
I mean, and that's not always the case, but that's common. You know,
Right.
It's not a toy, but it is a tool.
Right.
So different, you know, different perspectives, of course. But I appreciate yours. And again, want to thank you and congratulate you on everything you're doing, and just showing, being an example for others that there's life before, after, beyond, and involving hip hop culture. So, you know, any final words from you tonight?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to my partners, E Swift, Tash, King T, the whole Liquid crew out there, everybody in hip hop is doing their thing. And you know, check out my 3x3 with West Coast Creations. I got 3 songs out right now. You can find them on all platforms. Just look up J Row 3x3, 3x3 on Spotify, all the platforms. Support. That's what's up, man. It's even a song with the Alkaholiks on this project. That's what I got out musically right now. But other than that, man, just let's just keep praying that this world gets better, and you know, just keep it going, man. Staying positive out there.
I appreciate you for your role in doing what you can to make it a better place. And I'll just say this before we sign off. You know, every time I've encountered J-Ro, and we didn't grow up together, know each other in PACOIMA or anything like that, but every time I met him and Tash and Eastwood, have always been, you know, the most welcoming gentlemen and friends to people, their fans and strangers. And that just means a lot, you know, just meeting somebody who's open to you. So I always appreciate that about y'all.
Appreciate you, my brother, for sure. PACOIMA love.
All day, baby. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk again soon. And thank you again, J-Ro.
Yeah, peace,
All right.
y'all. Peace.